How's it going, everyone? I'm Travis Brown with the Eagle here with Robert Cessna. We just got out of A&M's first fall camp practice. A lot of stretching, a lot of individual drills. That's about all we can say. Cease, what was your first thoughts of fall camp?
Hey, just the fact you're back out on the field. Everybody gets excited. You've seen the media days. You take steps like this. I can remember coming out here many times, and you see Billy Pickard used to be out here all fired up. People get fired up because football is just around the corner.
Right. We saw the teams come out there. Some what you might jot down as first team action, even though we know guys get reps. The one thing that people want to know is number 13, Hayes King, was out there running most of the first team reps. Zach Kelzot is second, but I'm sure we'll also see that go back and forth as fall camp plays out.
Yeah, to be quite honest with you, I always I go right down to the quarterbacks, and Calzada was today, his arm was on the money several times. Hayes King, a couple throws off. And I don't want people to read into it, but I just was laughing because you could tell Jimbo was he was in midseason form with his tarts, his comments to the guys. One of the receivers couldn't do anything right. And, Jimbo is, what does he always say? Every play matters, and you can tell it. It's early, but every play matters to these players, particularly, as you mentioned, if you're Calzada right now and Hayes King, every play is important.
Also, at the tight end position, we did see Jalen Weidermeyer, who missed most of spring practice. We also saw Baylor Cupp in action, which we haven't seen a lot of because of reoccurring injuries with him. Both of those guys out there taking reps, and it's been a while since Jimbo Fisher has had two tight ends that he can maybe rely on.
And that's true, and I don't think Weidermeyer dropped one coming across the middle every time. Everything was to him. He was a vacuum, and that's why a lot of people have him down as a preseason All-American. But once again, you see these things and you go, you can see why this team is picked where they're at.
Mm-hmm. And then finally, I know the big question mark is the offensive line. They were moving and shuffling around, but things that we'll keep an eye on moving forward is the offensive line. What are your thoughts and what you're going to look at moving forward at practice with the offensive line?
Moving forward, and I don't know when we're going to see it, when they put the pads on. I love to see when the people put pads on. How good is Johnson? Yeah, he did a good job at Tennessee. Can he come in here and take that tackle spot? All those other guys, can they step up? Because you're going against a top 10 defense. So a lot of times we're not going to see that, but we can see a byproduct of that when we see them come out for the first 10 minutes of every practice. Who is on the left guard? Who is in the right guard? Who is another tackle spot? Because to get there, you got to survive going against the Leals, the Clemens, and the people like that. So I think competition will have a way of working that out because A&M doesn't have a lot of experience, but those guys are talented.
You said it right on the dot. We only usually get to see about 10 minutes, and so there's not a whole lot to see, but we'll see a lot more stretching, we'll see a lot more throwing, and a lot more individual drills moving through fall camp, and have plenty to report on it at theeagle.com and in your local newspaper.